boy. Alright, like high key, I'm ready to shout that though. Yeah, boy. Ah, started on time today. I like this Sunday at 9 o'clock. Church is in session, baby. How you doing? My name is Absird Charles. Welcome to Chatting with Abby. Thank you for joining the conversation. I like that, like a little starter, you know. I don't know, it's like too professional, too predictable. Like, thank you for joining the guy. That does it lack genuineness. Like, I really do appreciate everyone who joins the conversation. Like, even if they're unaware about this, like they don't know about the vlog. These videos are all part of my self therapy sessions. They evolved from me videotaping the actual therapy with myself to me videotaping uh, the self therapy session videos were essentially me examining my own trauma, and the chatting with Abby videos are videos of me vlogging my path through honesty. It's me vlogging my journey. Chatting with Abby is the journey of me, my personal journey through honesty. And during the course of my personal journey, I meet people, cause sometimes really good advice come from other people. So I meet people, talk to them, we compare perspectives and hash it out. It's dope. Uh, Last night. So no, I gotta take the story back a couple weeks. I don't know exactly when. I can think about it, but I don't really want to get too specific. So a few weeks ago, I was going to First Friday, and I thought that my someone I knew was going to perform. Uh, so I arrived at the venue. I'm checking it out. I'm still enjoying the sights. Like I arrived early so that I can enjoy the sights and then go watch my friend perform. And they're like, "Oh, your information is incorrect. They don't perform on this day." I was like, "This is the day that was on the flyer." Because I read the flyer and I looked at information and this is the day. It the event did occur on a different day. So yeah, my information was wrong. So rather than watch my friend perform, I decided to just explore the avenue and maybe sing a little. So I'm walking down the street, sharing my music, sharing my energy, sharing everything. Just sharing, giving out what I can. Um, Most people on First Friday display their talents, uh, and I wanted to join in and say, I see your beautiful art that you hang on the wall. I see you standing on the corner, forcing others to hear your beliefs. I see your ability to whip up this recipe and serve this food that's fucking exquisite. Like, see a collection of people displaying their talents. I see you DJ using your ability of detecting the sound and making the mix smooth. I see you. So I was going about just playing, imitating that behavior. Just singing. If you wanted to listen, you could listen. I tend to keep a pretty fast pace, so not many people can actually hear the full song. They tend to just hear snippets. Uh, Sometimes I do slow down when I'm getting like, I don't know, a feeling that that I should slow down. I don't know. I don't really know. It's like normally I'm out of tune and I'm just walking fast, you know, looking around, seeing everything goes, and then something's like slow down. It's like, okay, let me slow down and finish this song, or let me stop and finish this song. I don't, I don't know how it works, but I'm doing that, and then I'm doing that. I hear someone singing, but they aren't they weren't selling their sound. They were just performing. It's like, whoa, this is awesome. What is this? So I go closer to, you know, view the performance, and someone comes up to me. She's like, hey, this is open mic. You want to go? I'm like, sure. And met a lot of people there. Met a lot of people there. One of them in particular, we kind of bonded. Like, you know, hey, uh, there's something about you. I want to get to know you, and I want to understand. I don't know what it is. So we hung out, and man, man, this girl was incredibly honest. Like, everything about her was beautiful, and when when I would speak, she would listen, and then she would repeat what I said, but in her own words to see if she was understanding what I was saying properly. And then after making sure that she understood what I was saying, she would uh, say what she saw, and we were communicating. We were each discussing our viewpoints. I was explaining the things that I see going on, and you know where I got the information from, and you know trying to source it properly. Like, this isn't me. You know, this isn't my information. Like, this is something else mixed with my information. And like, so don't focus on my information. Focus on something else. And she was saying, well, I see this, and a lot of the stuff we saw, we just called it different things. Like, the things she's capable of seeing were absolutely incredible. They were astounding. Taking in the fact that a lot of the information I was presenting, she didn't have proper labels for. And so her ability to understand these things in real time was just like, it was blowing my mind. Because I do understand that what I say can be a lot. I get it. When I first received that information, it was a lot. It's like, oh, this is a lot. And you know, we were able to make jokes. All right. So one thing that was also hilarious. I told her about in 2017 when I had a vision of the earth being infected by corruption, by a corrupted entity, by a disease. I had a vision of the earth being corrupted by a disease. And how at that time I was able to see its genetic coding. Uh, and she's like numbers? I'm like, yeah. It was like a computer code. And also, I was able to see that, and I was spread across the entire planet, and there was wars, and people were like, oh, so many people were dying for different reasons. Just so many people, but They were dying for different reasons, but it was all the same reason. Like, just different variations of that reason. Like, it was all due to this coding that was infecting the planet. And then, so, you know, she's like, tell me more. Like, so what'd you do after that? I was like, well, I ended up trying to build success. And the success wasn't giving me the feelings of security I was looking for. So, you know, I asked God, you know, hey, what should I do? And I told her about some of the other visions that I experienced and how I met, you know, Donald King and Yana and Axel and Gina and Emily. It's like I started meeting all these people who I probably wouldn't have paid attention to if I was the same person I was back then. If I still used my old set of prioritizing. But so yeah, like then I told her about how I ended up leaving my job. Yeah, I would sit at home all day, or order DoorDash, and get high on a computer, and she just burst out laughing. She burst out laughing. She's like, "You just had this vision of the world getting ready to, you know, of all these people dying. You had this vision, and you get on your computer all day and get high." Oh man. Yeah, that's what I did. I hopped on the computer and played Hearthstone and TFT all day. Went and achieved the highest ranks that I could with the amount of time I was willing to commit to playing them. But I mean, it was for a reason. It was for a reason. Playing the video games led me to watching Zalay's channel. Like, Firebat explains things, his gameplay in a way that I can understand them. So, you know, watching Firebat and Soju play, and I'm learning from him. And Firebat's friends with Zalay. Zalay works out while he plays video games. So I was like, oh, I like that, you know? If I win, I'll do 5 push-ups, you know, as a way of celebrating, like, whew, yeah, boy, you know? And if I lose, I'll do 5 squats as a way of building strength. And I'm doing this every day, 5-6 hours, literally just video games, 5-6 hours. And eventually it got to the point where I didn't want to have to play video games to do the working out. Man, I want to still work out. I just want to get it done with. And that's when I started utilizing a workout routine. Like, just get it done with. And all of this grew from those moments. As I continued to be honest about what was going on, like, to be honest, I wanted to play video games. And I knew I needed to take care of my body, and I couldn't do that sitting down. So I needed to move. And as I began to move, because of how it felt, I was like, man, that feels better than winning at the video game. That feels better than losing. Like, man, that was better than gaming. Like, being in tune with reality was way more rewarding than gaming. And so I started to, you know, figure out how do I tune into reality more. I mean, because how do I get that feeling that's better than gaming? Because gaming feels good. Gaming, it can be relaxing, it can be calming, it can be stressful, it can be many things. But it tends to feel good, especially when you win. Like, man, it was dope. And as she's communicating, she points out areas in which communication was being interfered with on my behalf. Uh, she was explaining, like, when I speak, how she sits in silence and listens so that she can take in information. And then the period of silence in between is simply her trying to understand. And then when she speaks, she she wants to do, have that same respect to where she can deal with her information in real time and process it aloud. And I kept interfering with that. I kept cutting her off because I would have questions. Because as she's processing this information, I'm processing this information. And it's like, well, if you just wait until the end, wait till I finish, I might answer your question. So as I I started to understand that she was telling me to shut the fuck up. And but she was being honest about it. She's like, listen, like, it's hard for me to communicate with you if you keep cutting me off. It's like, oh, I was fighting. Fighting is, utilizing aggression to damage the structural building blocks. And so, as she was forming her thought, I was tearing the legs out from underneath it, rather than to let her finish building. And fighting interferes with a lot of communication, because most humans want things to match. They It's like you see everything in nature match. Light has its opposite and has its balance in darkness. Um, heat has its balance in cold. Principle has its balance in material. Body has its balance in spirit. Uh, everything has its form of balance. And humans, being what we are lacking. We are an incomplete organism, so we're constantly searching for whatever it is that we need. We just we don't have the ability to know what we need. So look in terms of matching. It says, oh, I like this thing because it matches me. It matches with me. And as they learn more about this thing, it starts to be various degrees. Like, not a perfect match. Each person has their own inner story. Each body has its physical differences, and so each ego probably craves different things. Because each experience is unique, as far as I'm aware of. Like, each one always operates at a different space-time location. Like, at least on this side. I've never had another person, like, inside my body. At the same time, at the same damn time, at the same damn time. But when the things don't match, so when they have an idea or a belief about how things should be, and they're trying to communicate that belief, and the bits and pieces and phenomena they're observing in reality don't match, what's experienced is cognitive dissonance. It's aggression. It's like, and then there are a few ways that phenomenon works. So The aggression stems from fear. Because they're likening their image, their belief, with a whole lot of, it has a lot of shit attached to it. Like, the deeper the belief, the more things are attached to it. So in their minds, if they break attachment to that belief, then they lose all these things that are attached to it. Like, their belief is attached with their survival, their sanctity, their comfort, their sense of well-being, their sense of purpose, their sense of desire, their idea of goodness, their idea of God, their idea of right and righteousness, their idea of justice, their idea of peace and harmony, their idea of perfection. So anything that attempts to separate them from this, by default in their minds, must be bad. Like, this is making me uncomfortable. This is telling me I'm not right. This is a bad thing. Because they attribute bad as deserving of punishment, as evil, as distasteful, as beneath them, as less, as insignificant, as petulance, as a problem. So beliefs are, whew, people can get real aggressive based on how deep that belief is. And they actualize that aggression through fighting. Say, oh, I'm going to tear this thing down so that I can feel more powerful. This thing is trying to tear me down. It's breaking apart my belief. And what understanding does is break apart belief, because with understanding, it doesn't utilize belief. As far as everything that I've been told and have learned and been aware of, belief and understanding are mutually exclusive. You can't both understand something and believe it. Like, I can believe that I can jump 10 feet. But once I jump to 10 feet, I don't have to believe it anymore. I can build confidence. I can figure out how I jumped to 10 feet and then figure out a way to do that consistently. And then I can always say, yeah, I can jump 10 feet. Or if I can tell that there's a difference in how I normally jump 10 feet and how I'm performing now, like, ooh, you know what? I'm not sure if I could jump that 10 feet this time. You know, these things are going on. And understanding requires honesty. Belief does not. Like, you can try to be honest about your beliefs, and what ends up happening is it pulls you out of your belief, which is part of the reason why someone who's holding to a belief tightly has problems being honest, because honesty as a mechanical phenomenon is separate than belief. It causes separation from beliefs. Like, a belief is essentially an agreement someone makes with themselves. And so, let's say I agree to myself that I can do 100 push-ups. If I don't do that 100 push-ups, then that doesn't stop me from believing that I can, from still agreeing. It's just I'm making an agreement that I can't meet. But once I do that 100 push-ups, then my agreement is no longer necessary. Because whether I agree or disagree, it doesn't matter. I'm still able to do 100 push-ups. Like, like, I can disagree. Someone can disagree with me all they want. You know you can't. I disagree with you. You can't do that. And then the performance speaks for itself. Honesty is recognizing that performance. Understanding is a process. It breaks down that performance in real time. It's like, oh, but belief can just exist without the performance. It has a performance, like it does perform a certain way, but it's vastly different than how understanding performs. Like, as understanding performs, it just builds on top of what's there and grows. Like it expands. As belief forms, it snatches and pulls. It's kind of weird. Not weird. Weird's not accurate. Because I don't want to say it's bad. Because it's not. It has its purpose. Like, a lot of the bonds that I formed were initially formed of belief. Like, I was explaining that, let's say there are 2 points that need to be connected. A bond needs to form. So belief is like a spark. It's sending out that energy. Doof, doof, doof. And then once you connect to that real object, then you don't need the spark. You don't need to keep revving the engine. You have to utilize that engine. You have to start processing it. And that's when you start to rely on understanding and reasoning in real time and honesty. Because then, you got got jokes going through now. It's a solid bond. Just one joke. And just, the jokes are so consistent that they're solid. That's the best way to describe it. Versus the sparks. Just hoping to catch something. Just going everywhere hoping to catch something. Now this is focus. Focus bond. Nice and strong and powerful. Versus this bond that belief causes, which are fleeting. It's extremely temporary. Especially when viewed in the larger scales of playing. So, if someone is relying on these fleeting temporary connections, it could be like a numbers game. Quantity over quality. I'm going to do these all the time, and the things that I find if I get lucky and find something that says I'm right, I'm going to just do what I did to get that luck again. And then something comes along and consistently proves it wrong, or even shows that it might be wrong, or inspires feelings that they could be wrong. Like, reality doesn't match what they believe. They're seeing the difference. The difference is right in front of them. That's when aggression comes in. And when aggression comes in, it's defending the belief. Because their belief isn't allowed to do what it wants, they feel like they're being attacked. Like, why are you stopping me? If you're stopping me, then you must be offending me. I'm just doing what I want, and I'm going to let you do what you want, as long as what you want to do fits within what I want. You can wear whatever you want as long as it follows the protocol. You can do as much as you can have the lights on as late as you want until 10 o'clock. Uh, you can go wherever you want as long as you follow the guided path. Uh, yeah. So then aggression comes in. And the point of aggression is to tear something down. To get at the structural building blocks. You have to compete against them and win so that you can weaken that body and take it over. That's how disease works. Through narcissism, competition, and aggression. I'll weaken this and take it over. I'll weaken this and consume it. It's like using various weapons. Sometimes you use a poison to weaken it, and sometimes you use a bullet. And one of the points mentioned was, say you have a friend, and you notice your friend, their face is getting fuller, their stomach is becoming engorged, they're becoming sluggish, their breathing patterns, they're struggling to breathe, and you want to communicate with them. So, you can communicate, hey, how are you? Well, what's going on? I noticed there were some changes made to you, and just concerned about your health. Or you can communicate the same thing and say, hey, you fat fuck. They're both were comments about the changes, but one is designed to tear down, basically. One of the comments is designed to tear down. Sure, it's meant as a joke. Yeah, this is a joke between friends. No need to get offended. All I'm doing is hitting you. You should let me slap you if we're friends. I'm your friend. I should be able to humiliate you. But you should not ever humiliate me. Actually, some people do find self-humiliation funny. They just really enjoy humiliation. Like the characters in Jackass. They're just like, man, this humiliation is hilarious. Even though I do like that often they were simply humiliating themselves. Others weren't typically, others outside their group weren't typically targets of their pranks. Because there were a lot of YouTube shows where, they're pranking people where they're really just sending people up for humiliation without them being aware of it. And they're like, it's just a prank, bro. Like, no, this is aggression. You're being aggressive. You're fighting. So, when these beliefs meet truth, and they have to fight, they have to do what it takes to block it out. Because if truth gets in, then of course the belief isn't required anymore. It's simply unnecessary. And it's like something in us trying to control our body, trying to take over. And our bodies just so happen to be really strong in the sense that it can guide itself if it chooses to. So yeah, but man, those feelings of disempowerment, that fear of disempowerment, like, oh, man, It's sad and sickening because some people's idea of power is having the ability to take from others. Like that's what they view power as. That's what they want. All they want to do is take from others. And when they simply aren't allowed to take from others, like when they're told no, you can't have this, they view that as not matching their inner story. They experience cognitive dissonance just from not being allowed to take from others. How dare you not let me be mean to you and transfer my anger and frustration? I have every right to. You gotta listen to me. I'm the authority. I'm right. Let me speak to someone who has the ability to inflict pain against you. I need to see that you're punished. How dare you do this to me? I need to make sure that you're punished. I need to see you get punished. I need to punish you. Need you to be as punished as severely as possible so that you never do this again. How dare you deny me the opportunity to hurt you? Oh, man. That narcissism ain't no joke, bruh. And these are actual thought processes. Like, I want to hurt something. I want to... Imagine you're a corrupt group. And you're competing with each other over who can be the most corrupt. So, one guy says, hey, you know what? I allow this entire village to starve to death so that I can accumulate this fortune that you see before you. Another one says, oh, okay. I destroy the economy of this entire country so that they can start relying on my business to support their needs. And so as long as their economy is destroyed, my company continues to feed and benefit at their expense. Another one says, I killed all their children so that they know better than to say no to me. Now they're going to do business with me, otherwise I kill them again. That's essentially what's happening. And then there are the people at the bottom. Man, look how cool those guys are. You hear about all the stuff that they're doing and getting away with? I want to do that. I want to have this mansion. I want to have these fancy cars. I want to have a multitude of women. I want to be able to hurt people with impunity like they're doing. Because everyone can see that what they're doing is hurting people and they're getting away with it. I want to get away with it too. And then there are another group. Man, that shit sucks. Like, when that hurt was done, when I was doing that hurt, when they were doing that hurt to me, that sucked. I hope no one has to experience this type of hurt again. Those are the people who are willing to communicate. They're willing to see if what they're doing is hurting people and to make adjustments. The former group, they literally want to hurt things. So when something disagrees with them, they have to utilize aggression. Aggression is fighting. They want to hurt stuff, so if something catches their bad side because it doesn't tell them that they're right, they get to hurt it. They gotta punish it. They need to win so that they can feel better. You made me feel like a loser when you told me I was wrong. I need to take from something. Their their full idea of victory is what they can take from others. Like that joke about the Olympics. Like if I was second place at the Olympics, where I know Keita was in it. I don't think she works for College Humor anymore. I don't know what company she represents, but she's like, she was a character who got second place at the Olympics, and it's like the reporters like, so you didn't get first, you got silver medalist. How does that feel? Like, I know you're a bit disappointed. She was like, oh no, I got silver at the Olympics. Hey girl, how you doing? Yeah, we about to go celebrate. And like, so that last ski jump you did, you didn't quite perform it correctly. You didn't make that landing, lost you some points there. Oh, I didn't think I could do it. I was just why not, Yeah. That one was incredibly difficult. Yeah, it's cool. I was cool not making that one. Yeah, I got silver. We good. Like, well, you, I know you're super disappointed that you lost to Germany. Did you expect them to perform that way? Yeah. See, like they live in this weather. I'm from Alabama. I'm just a little city girl. Like, oh, bro, it was hilarious. Like, she wouldn't allow the reporter to tear down her accomplishment. Ah, like, oh, if you just stuck in competing, like, oh, you didn't accomplish this. Like, no, don't forget what I was able to do. Like, well, we got some champagne, and so near the end though, she approaches him because he's still on this. So you only got silver, and she's like, what place did you get today? Well, what medal did you get in the Olympics? Ah, it was hilarious. Ah, I still didn't watch the video from Friday to see how I did at the do that. Don't know when. Man, I'll be having some good conversations. So, next week, these are likely to be pre-recorded. I'm gonna see if I can set something up where I can still do it live. Maybe I can go live from my phone. If I go live from my phone, some of the scenes are gonna be different. Like, it won't have the chatting with Abby, the blue screen. It'll just be me talking, But yeah, I'll probably go live from my phone. The pre-recorded ones don't really feel as authentic, but I still try to make them as authentic as possible. So yeah, next week I'll probably be doing it from my phone, so it'll be a little different format. Nope. One day, I drank 3 bottles of kombucha. Man, it fucked me up. There was like way too much yeast in my stomach. I was like, oh man, I should stick to like one a day or one every other day or some shit. Three at once? Woo, no. All right, hey. Yo, I want to talk to you. I'm having some awesome conversations. Like, legit, being around someone as honest as she was really made me re-examine some of the connections that I have. Like, this is a person I met once, and when I met her, my attention was definitely being pulled in various other locations. This is a person who was speaking to me without wanting anything back. Like, a lot of times people want something when they talk to me. I can see it, even though I don't necessarily know what it is that they want. I could just see them trying to take something. Like, what are they trying to take? And this person wasn't trying to take any of my energy. They weren't trying to control it or manipulate it in any sort of way. They were just giving their energy. And when I would give mine, they would receive it and try to understand it. Her honesty, like, absolutely gorgeous. Oh my goodness, beautiful. Like, I love her. She's an amazing person. It's like, man, it's possible. This level of honesty, like, this person, I don't know what she's been through, but this person is showing bravery in real time and is taking in a lot of fucking information at once and still trying their best to properly understand and digest it. Like, this person was communicating with me. We they were taking we were hashing out, we were sharing our perspective. We didn't necessarily agree on things. Like, but what we were doing was transmitting information above the level of agreement and disagreement. Like, I see things this way, I see things this way. Let's figure it out. Let's figure it out what we're seeing. I would say what I see. Well, it sounds like you're saying this. Yeah, that's right. Oh, I see it. Well, it sounds like you're saying this. Oh, well, I disagree. Even though I understand what you're saying, like, I disagree about this part. I think it works this way. Like, well, okay, then let me see if it can work this way. What about this circumstance? Like, okay, so yeah, I guess it does work this way. Or what about this circumstance? I can't see it working that way because of this circumstance, but it's cool. Like, oh, versus people who fight. Like, someone had made a post, and it mentioned men of substance. So I was like, what kind of substance? Because they said men of substance, but they didn't actually list any qualities. They just listed names. I'm like, well, I don't really know what's substantial about these people. So I was like, hey, what kind of substance? It's like, well, we all have different opinions. We all think different things. No one's here has to be right. No one has to be wrong. I'm like, why are you fighting? I just want to understand you. I'm asking questions because I don't get it. Like, I want to know what you're talking about. Like, do you know what you're talking about? That's not a question I tend to ask, though. I tend to ask questions that if they do know what they're talking about, they should be able to answer. Like, if someone tells me bananas make you healthy, how? And then they say, oh, well, when I eat a banana, I feel good. All right, well, bananas might make you healthy, but how does it help me? But if someone says bananas make you healthy, I'm like, well, how? And I'm like, well, most humans tend to utilize potassium, and bananas provide an extra source of potassium, which your body can then convert into energy and maintain a balanced state. And it's like, oh, okay, get it. You know what you're talking about. You not knowing what you're talking about doesn't mean you're wrong. It just means you don't know what you're talking about. You're right on accident. There are times when I'm right on accident. I don't know what I'll be talking about. The information's just there. And so I put it out there, and then I meet an honest person who wants to understand it. So they start asking questions. And through their question, I'm gaining an understanding in real time. I'm being able to map it out. It's like, thank you, man. It made me realize, well, not just that, but I gotta make some cuts. Like, as I've been examining society, I thought that, yeah, I saw a huge increase in aggression. I'm like, man, that was a huge increase. But then it's like, still increasing. Like, by a lot. It's like, oh, this. I gotta make some adjustments. And part of those adjustments means cutting out some corruption. Gotta do some cleansing of myself. Dig deep. Make those cuts. Cut away the excess. Oh, my bad. Alright. Hey, yo. My name is Absird Charles. You can find me on Facebook. On Instagram, I'm Absird1, ABSIRD. If you're watching this on YouTube, all the information is attached in the description. But I repeat it in case you're not watching on YouTube, or in case you're just listening. But I definitely want to talk to you. I want you to join this conversation, even if we meet on coincidence. Man, this is dope. All these experiences gathering, and especially like you, honesty is so fucking amazing. Honesty is that effort, baby. That effort into figuring out what's real and what's true, what's reality. Fucking incredible. I love it. All right, y'all. Abby, out.